Hey everyone, what is going on? And welcome to your nightmare. No, I'm just kidding. But we do have Nightmare Cup battles. I was playing these while in the car on the way to an EX raid. Obviously I wasn't driving, but I was on the way playing these in the car, so not really getting the 3 rings. I'm not making excuses or anything. I mean, we did well. It's just practice battles. We have a lot of Pokemon to test out, and we will be using a lot of Pokemon. And continue to leave your suggestions down below. I definitely want to go ahead and see what you guys have to suggest, and I definitely will be trying out a bunch of different Pokemon. I have a bunch in mind, but anyway, I wanted to show you first. I did get a lucky trade, a lucky friend, so we did trade lucky shiny Latios. So mine came out really good, really happy about this one. I think it has 14, 13, 14, so no 15% on that one, but I'm definitely happy with this lucky shiny Latios. So it's definitely going to be a lot cheaper to power up, so really super happy about that, so I'll take it. I will take it. And I have 2 of these, by the way, now. One lucky and one regular. But anyway, we're going to jump into the Nightmare Cup battles. Ooh. And when I heard Nightmare, I thought Ghost type was going to represent. Not the case. But we're beginning with a Pokemon that I know you've seen and I know you've used in the Twilight Cup. Drapion, definitely gonna represent in this cup as well. Definitely gonna be really powerful. It's neutral to those fighting types, so Count is still gonna do a lot to it. And of course, Mud Bomb from Toxicroak, so still definitely a good Pokemon. But I switch into my Lucario against his Alolan Raichu. Alolan Raichu, pretty interesting. It's really frail. I don't think it's going to be super great this cup, but it's another Pokemon I do want to try out. This is just from, just my thoughts and stuff. I could be totally wrong. He brings in Honchkrow. Honchkrow is a really good Pokemon. It is neutral to those fighting moves, so it's still taking a lot of damage despite being super effective as well. So we get off that Aqua Tail immediately. I removed Sludge Bomb, which is what I used to have. Aqua Tail charges up super fast. We actually had another one ready to go, but we're just trying to knock out his shiny Honchkrow before even having to use it. He gets off his Foul Play immediately. We get off Aqua Tail right away, so doing nothing basically. We only got like 2 rings in that, not even 2 rings, so doing a little bit more damage. It doesn't do a lot of damage, but it does charge up really fast, so Aqua Tail is definitely going to be a good option for you. We actually did get off, 3 against that shiny Umbreon before he got off Foul Play, so definitely good despite not doing a lot of damage. Bringing in Toxicroak, finishing up the game. Now Toxicroak is a really good Pokemon for this cup. It does resist other fighting moves, so if you're going up against a fighting Pokemon with Toxicroak, you're going to have the advantage. The only problem is it's 4 times weak to Psychic, which is allowed in this cup, so watch out for those Psychic types. You've seen Venomoth in the Twilight Cup, guys. You know how much it does to Toxicroak. It doesn't mean Toxicroak isn't good. I still think Toxicroak is really good and a Pokemon I'm totally considering for this cup. But we'll have to see. Getting off multiple Aqua Tails in a row just because of how fast it charges. You can see how good Drapion is, even with 2 rings. I mean, imagine getting 3 rings. It's definitely going to be a lot better, obviously. So I feel like a lot of people are going to be using Drapion. I'm bringing in my Toxicroak, knocking out his Alolan Eradicate. He brings in Bronzong, a Pokemon I actually think is going to be pretty good. A Pokemon I do want to try out as well. Getting off that Mud Bomb, he is going to block that one. He's as you know, super weak. I don't even know why I brought in my Toxicroak because it's super weak to confusion and whatnot. But I mean, what else was I going to do? I had a Hypno in the back, which is going to do nothing to that Bronzong. I do have another Hypno with Shadow Ball. Both of them are Legacy. I do want to use that one. It just wasn't powered up at the moment, so I would have had a better shot. I would have brought in Hypno before I brought in Toxicroak had I had a Shadow Ball one ready to go, because Shadow Ball obviously is going to be super effective against Bronzong, but unfortunately we didn't have that, so he is going to take this game. That's okay, but yeah, I feel like Shadow Ball, and if you're adding the secondary move, Focus Blast, that's definitely the way to go. But I feel like Hypno's going to be pretty good for this cup. But we actually won because we got a TM. I'm just kidding, guys, But he did take that game. We were not really well equipped for that game, I guess. But for this match, both beginning with Skunk Tank, another Poison Dark type, only weak to ground. But again, fighting moves like Counter is still going to do a good amount of damage to it because of how strong they are. But he does take that. I decide last second not to take this Flamethrower, and I knew, or at least I thought, actually, yeah, I knew I would get to the Sludge Bomb first, so we do go ahead and use the Sludge Bomb. I wasn't sure if he would protect, but he does go ahead and protect that one. I'm not going to protect this. I knew I would survive that Flamethrower, but he's able to just about knock me out before we knock him out. But we're both down 1 shield, so even at this point. We do knock him out with a Alolan Muck. Another Pokemon I feel is going to be really dominant in this cup. He brings in Hitmonchan. You can see how much counter is doing to a Alolan Muck. Neutral, as I said, but it's still doing a lot, so you do have to watch out. We're going to go ahead, get off this Dark Pulse on this Hitmonchan, trying to bait the shield as it happens. And we get off yet another Dark Pulse, so he is out of shields right now. That is going to be able to knock out Hitmonchan despite it resisting it. He does bring out his Bronzong. Bronzong is a Pokemon we gotta try out this tournament. Feel like it's gonna be good. Now, because we're part Steel type, we are neutral to that confusion, right? We're not weak to it. So yeah, we're able to get off Shadow Ball and we're able to win. So Shadow Ball is definitely a good move. That's why I really want to use my other legacy, Hypno, with Shadow Ball, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to use this one. I do have it is a lucky one, so I will be powering up and using it in the future. But yeah, definitely feel like Shadow Ball is a good way to go. This time, different opponent. This is a subscriber of mine, excuse me, and he's using Shiny Umbreon. I am using my Drapion. I love starting with this guy. I'm not saying it's the best start or the Pokemon you're always going to start with. I do want to use an Umbreon with Last Resort. Unfortunately, I don't have one for the Great League, so I can't at this point. I have an Umbreon for the Great League, just not one with Last Resort. But we do get off that Power Up Punch. He's actually going to take it, get knocked out. He brings in his Breloom. And we do about half, almost, actually over half to that. Bringing in Honchkrow, definitely going to be able to knock out Breloom. He brings in Slowbro. Slowbro is another Pokemon. Slowbro and Slowking are definitely two Pokemon I have to try out this cup. Definitely have to look into them. Definitely Slowbro. I feel like it's really good. I mean, that Water Gun, you guys know how good Water Gun is. I've used that. I use that in the Kingdom Cup with Lapras. I use it in the Tempest Cup. Water Gun is a good move. You know, Qwilfish in the Twilight Cup was definitely good. Getting off that Crunch, he's going to go ahead and block that. So we're going to go ahead and get to another Crunch. And we're going to knock out that Slowbro. And we do go ahead and take that game. But I do think Slowbro is actually a good Pokemon. Quite tanky. Pretty good. So I definitely want to use it. But yeah, so that's that match. We're going to go ahead and jump into another one, beginning with yet again Drapion. We're not always going to be using Drapion. In other videos, we will be beginning with other Pokemon. But for now, we're using Drapion, getting off Aqua Tail, hoping to bluff a shield. He does not fall for it, unfortunately. I was trying to bluff it. It didn't work out for me. I think I bluff it again. He gets off Water Pulse, actually doing a lot of damage. Yeah, I bluff Aqua Tail again, hoping he would use a shield. It does not happen, so that's unfortunate for me. But now I'm using Crunch, and this time he's still not going to block it. So I guess at this point he figured he'd give up his Slowbro. A little bit of lag, not a big deal, and still able to take it out, which is definitely good for us. But couldn't bait those shields. He's going to bring in Toxicroak right now, knocking me out. Thinking to myself, not a good position. This is where I learned that Toxicroak is really good against other fighting types because it's also part poison. So, yeah, I knew, like, my Hitmonchan and my Lucario couldn't do much to it. I mean, what was I going to do? He's going to resist his moves. He has shields left. You know, there was really nothing I could do. He knocks out Hitmonchan. I bring in my Lucario. He does have his Dynamic Punch ready to go. I do go ahead and block that, but again, he's just doing a lot of damage to my Lucario. Getting off Dynamic Punch, hoping to pull off something. He does go ahead and block it, but I'm very low, and he reveals his last Pokemon, Poliwrath. Yeah, really nothing I could do. I mean, it didn't matter what Pokemon it was, you know? So, yeah, that's where I realized that Toxicroak is definitely a good Pokemon for this cup. I mean, it is weak to Psychic, so something else you have to watch out for. But anyway, similar lead matchup, or at least the same lead matchup, Drapion for Umbreon. And I'm going to switch into my Lucario. I'm going to take his move, which is going to be Last Resort. Doing a good amount of damage to me and getting off Power Up Punch right now. He's not going to go ahead and block that. I actually thought he would have blocked that. I guess it makes sense not to block it. I'm going to keep my Lucario healthy and knock out his Umbreon. Well, I guess it's not healthy, but yeah. Anyway, he's going to bring in his Toxicroak. I'm not able to get to a Dynamic Punch. I bring in Hypno. Confusion does a lot of damage. He's actually able to switch, you know, before he gets knocked out. I didn't think he'd be able to. As you can see, my Hypno doesn't have Shadow Ball. This one, I do have one that has Shadow Ball, so definitely recommend the Shadow Ball variant if you have it. It is Legacy, but if you do have it, definitely recommend it. He actually surprises me with Focus Blast, so As I said, Focus Blast and Shadow Ball, definitely the moveset in my opinion that you want on Hypno. So Focus Blast can hit those Dark types, so Dark doesn't completely destroy you, right? So Hypno, really solid Pokemon. His last one is Toxicroak, but it's super weak, so we basically have this game. Hits me with Dynamic Punch, he knocks me out. I get off the Side Shock. I didn't need a Side Shock, but we get it off, and we take that win. So let me know what you think of the Nightmare Cup, and I will see you in the next one and in the next video. Have a good day. Bye. Thank you so much for watching my latest video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to follow me on Twitter. If you like this video, click on one of the links to check out another one of my videos that you'll probably enjoy.